Hello guys, so today I wanted to make a first impression video. I've been playing for 3 days, probably more than 30 hours so far. I am level 34, my characters are all level 60, and I'm on the verge of getting to 36, accessing the new zone probably, and getting my characters to 70 eventually, right? So I played a little bit now. I think I am confident enough to give you a first impression, right? Not about the whole game, but the experience that I had so far, including a little bit of feedback on where the game can improve. Now, first of all, let's start by saying that the overall score of the game at the moment, I would say it's like a 7.5. Everything considered, I don't actually dislike the base building. I think this is going to be the biggest deal breaker. If you don't like the base building, you're going to be annoyed by it. You're going to be like bored or annoyed by the fact that it's so important about in the game, right? You really need to work on your base. So if this is not fun for you, it might be a vibe off. But the game is actually pretty good. I think it has its own identity, is continuing on a well-beloved and well-known IP of Arknights. So all of the characters, even though for some reason they changed their names, for probably all of them, I don't know, we'll see. For now, they did. The game still has recognizable characters that a lot of people that played the first Arknights know, so it's going to be extra excitement for upcoming characters in the future. And the way the models look, they look really good. I think they're with ZZZ and Girls Frontline 2 level of high tier quality. This is sitting among them, in my opinion. It's they're pretty high quality. Even if you zoom in, they look really good. If you zoom in, right, they look good. The animation are really nice. They have nice graphics that they're using. Funny enough, this is not a real engine. This is a modified version of Unity, so it runs really well, at least on my PC. You can check the spec in description if you're really curious, but it's not like it's not an old PC, but it's not a super 10K PC either. Now let's talk about the various aspects of the game. Okay, now the open world is fine, but it's not insane in the sense that the game really wants you to go around and build this system of zip lines, but you also can teleport on the teleporters that you can see here, right? The TP point. There's many of them, so you don't really feel the need to build this system of zip lines, besides rare occasions when you want to teleport there to the top of the mountain. You can sort of see it that I have it there, the 2 zip lines. Besides those situations, you don't really need to build the system, and you're also capped by the amount of zip lines that you could use. This is I can make 14 more, for example. So it's not exactly asking you to, it's not giving you white blank, go whatever, right? You are kind of also limited, and it would take a long time and it might be annoying for some people. That's why I didn't do it too much. So I think the movement of the open world could be improved. For example, all of the edges of the mountains and the rocks and the structures that they're a little slippery, they're a little bumpy. So when you trying to precise movement and you don't hit exactly over the hitbox, is going to push you back, push you off, and it's a little weird and it's kind of annoying sometimes. So that, I feel like that could be fixed, right? We could be using a little more vortexes, right? If you don't want to walk around and don't want to use the zip line, it might be nice to have maybe vehicles like the bike that we see Perlica use, and extra things that help you move around. It's not that bad. You could use some quality of life, let's say maybe some gadgets, stuff like that is used in other games for an open world. This is not exactly an open world, I don't think. I feel like this is more of a semi-open world. The level design is really good though. I like how they do the levels. There's a lot of hidden things that you can decide to adventure to and maybe find breakable rocks, and that rocks and they expands the map tremendously. There are also some places that are outside of the map. You don't see them. You see yourself in oblivion, and that's like a secret place or a secret shortcut. So I like the level design, but it's a little annoying to navigate sometimes. So I don't necessarily need they should change. They have to change it, but a little bit of quality of life could help. Okay, now let's move on into the base building. The base building is pretty decent. I would say it's like I would say that it's good, but it's missing a little bit of quality of life here as well. For example, the belts that are you seeing here, we should have at least a tech tree that goes on after level 3, because I capped mine. I feel like we should have like a tree, like a level 4 or level 5, etc., with improvements of currently available methods of crafting. For example, the belt, we should have a faster belt. We should have like a multiple level belts or something like that. We also could use a protocol stash, which is a teleporter that takes the materials and teleports them into PAC backpack. We could use the opposite version, so something that teleports the material into them and then feeds the item. So we don't have to be shackled to the bus here. Right. Otherwise, the more you go away from the bus, the more you are weirded out by the fact that it's going to be very hard to reach either the PAC or the bus, because you're going to have to make like 50 meters long belts, which is fine, but it would be nicer and would be better for quality of life, and also flow of materials, because the materials need to reach from point A to point B to count as material has been deposited, right? So if we could use more structure that give more quality of life, or go faster, or maybe some modification on the structure to make them increase the production without having to make a new item that is like way harder, okay? Now, when it comes to the database, I think the database is pretty cool. At the start, I didn't notice that you had this, but you have this icon, and then when you click the production chain, it will tell you exactly how to make it. And even if you don't know what you want to make, you can still go to your database from this panel, click EFDB, and then go to facilities, whatever you want to check, item files. Let's say I want to check how to make the grenades. I go to Endfield database, item file, and explosive. I click production chain. It's going to tell me exactly what I need and how to make it and where are the materials. So I click the material and I go to this, then I click the material and then I go to planting unit, or where is it? Okay, and then I go to the map and check where it is. Now, that said, I feel like the electric pylon MK1, this electric pylon has a little bit of low area. The pylon has a very low area, in my opinion, a small area. It should be a little better, a little bigger, or we should make a bigger one, okay? That's it for the base, I think. Everything else is pretty much decent, or at least I don't really have a strong opinion about it. Now, let's move on to the gacha. We know the gacha, I made a video about the gacha. TLDR is not that bad if they don't make the dupes have a lot of value, and they never do. Even in the future, they do like a switcheroo of the dupes in the future, and they fuck us all. Or they just keep the goddamn guaranteed. The guaranteed needs to be there and needs to be crossing over to the next banner. I feel like this should be the bare minimum. Let us keep the guaranteed on the next banner. And for the dupes, if they're irrelevant, then sure. Otherwise, they should also have the guaranteed. Now, for the arsenal, when you go to F9 and you click the arsenal exchange behind me, you didn't see it, but there's a button, and you go here to the arsenal, you know that with the arsenal ticket, you need to pool to get the arsenal ticket. You do get those from other aspects of the game early on, but I fear that in the future we could get into problems of, oh no, I got lucky. Now I don't get the arsenal ticket. I already got the character in one temple. Now I don't have enough pulls, because by recent calculation, we know that if you pull a character up to like 120, you will generate enough arsenal ticket to guarantee the weapon, because the weapon actually is guaranteed after 80 pulls. It still does it for only one piece, and then it stops being guaranteed, but the base rate is 25, which is pretty bad, but it's balanced out by the 4% of just any 6-star dropping, and it could happen that you get multiple 6-star in your journey to level to 80 pulls, and it might be higher this. So I feel like to fix this, we should have a stable income that comes outside of the pulling on the character banner. So a stable income that is not that bad of Arsenal ticket, and within one patch you should be able to at least have 70 or 80 pulls to get the weapon. And I feel like 25 is a little too low, and if you don't want to help us from outside sources, then make this 50-50, right? Make the weapon drop 4%, and then the 5th heirloom, which is the signature weapon of the Surtur, needs to be 50-50. Anything in the future needs to be 50-50. 25 is too low. So 4% is pretty high compared to the other rates, but 25 kind of makes it useless, kind of kills it, right? Now, for the rewards, as continuing for the rewards, I feel like I have some bullet points. More places to buy items from, like the Dijang shop. The Dijang shop is your mothership. You go here and you go to this shop, and you will be able to buy stuff, right? With the tickets. Now, this will be part of a video of beginner tips that I will be making in the upcoming days. I already have all the points, but it's important to do the shelter stuff, right? So you get the coins, and then the coins you can buy stuff. I feel like there is not many vendors in the game, and we could use them more of them, because the stamina is really high. The stamina usage is pretty high. It's like 40 to 50 to the low level encounters to farm stuff for your characters or whatever, and then it becomes 60, 80, and maybe even higher, 80, 100 when you're trying to get like the absolute end game, which we're not there yet. So I could see this becoming like even higher than 80 in some aspects. So, you know, keep that in mind. It would be nice to have extra vendors where we can use our extra credits or whatever, or other ways of buying maybe a rare material, so we can ease our burden of getting those materials, right? So now let's move on into the combat. The combat is fine. It's its own combat. I really like it. It reminds me of old games like Xenoblades and stuff. And when you go around, you attack. It's action, but it's also a little bit tactical. This comes with a little bit of oofs, in my opinion, that could be easily improved to make this way more this combat way more enjoyable. Now, first of all, when you are attacking, you have your basic attack that has a 5-chain combo that ends up with a energy regenerating slash, and then you have your 1, which is your main ability. Then you have one comboing ability that you can only trigger, that you only have access to when it triggers the specific character requirement. It will tell you for every character what you need to do. By clicking this one, it's going to tell you if this happens, you will have the prompt to click it. So you need to be careful and see and set your team in a way, or use the element that the character needs to trigger the skill. Otherwise, you would never cast this. And then you have the extra one, which is the ultimate. The ultimate always has some energy cost. It's going to take a long time to level up, unless maybe in the future we get some specific gear pieces that give us more ultimate. Or you can also get some dupes, but 6-star dupes, you know, we just said that it's not that good. So for now, the dupes are whatever, so you're not really going for the dupes for now with this current gacha. Now, the problem with the combat, the AI is a little goofy sometimes. If your main controlled character is not attacking and they are ranged, they're not attacking. They're like sitting there like this, doing nothing, which I don't think is a good idea. They should be more proactive, more active, more like, okay, do I have access to the boss? Yes. Are we fighting? Yes. I'm in combat? Yes. Then I'm attacking, right? That's fine. Also, sometimes they get bugged when you are on top of a cliff. They stay below because they're ranged, and they're shooting on the wall, or they're shooting on the pavement because they don't reach. Maybe improve the AI logic a little bit more. Maybe go closer and then shoot. Now, for dodging and stuff, they're really good. I almost am the only one every time to die, and they're always full HP. Now, they do die as well. They do get hit, but they dodge really well automatically, so they're really good. Now, something to say about the combat, the dodge, even though it's pretty fast and it's very tight to react, it's fine if I could spam it, but look. This is the rate I can spam the dodge. Now, even though the dodge is tight, it's fine if you let me do it back to back at any point. The internal cooldown should be very short, otherwise I am going to be hit no matter what, because there are going to be multiple adds or multiple AoEs that I need to dodge in a row, and if I don't time the first one correctly, now I don't have the time to time the second one, because now the internal cooldown is now active, I cannot dodge anymore, and I get hit for no reason. So the combat could be improved a little bit in the sense in these terms. Also, sometimes you have different, you need to interrupt the monster, and sometimes some characters are really shit at interrupting because their skill has a different delay before they actually do it. This for example is not hitting until now, so if you have a very tight window, for example on the boss, on a boss, I'm not gonna spoil it, on a boss, the timing for you to interrupt them is very fast, and it goes off very fast, so you need to be very reactive, and you need to have a skill that goes immediately, like Wolfguard one. So if you don't using this character, you're using characters like Angelina that has a very long cooldown or cast time, or even Yvonne has a little bit of a time before she actually casts the grenade, or Levitain that she has a little bit of cast time, right? These characters are not good to interrupting. And last point of the combat, the SP system is fine, and I understand why it's there, but when you are doing a skill, you lose one of the 3 bars of the SP. Now, the SP regen in combat is extremely slow, and to regen it really fast, unless you have something on your character, or you're using a specific SP regening character or ability or gear piece, you need to complete your full combo and hit them with the last attack, which was that one, to regen a decent chunk of SP. Now, you cannot cast any skill if you have 0 HP sockets completed. This happens very often while you're trying to do something in game. So I decided to not use too many skills and just double down on the combos, which is way more enjoyable and way more output damage in my opinion for now, if you are doing your combos instead of your skills. The combos don't use any SP, and then you can keep the SP to use when you need to interrupt, but not always you can randomly trigger the combos. For example, my starter combo is Angelina skill, so that's -1 SP. Maybe I need to interrupt something, that's -2 SP. Now I need to, maybe I want to do a little bit of damage, excuse me, right? And then so I do one skill, and now SPs are completely gone. If the enemies are not dead, because they're not when they're high level, or at least the same level as you, you're going to immediately go into 0 HP. Now you need to do your full combo, which you cannot do most of the time because it's so long, and you need to do the full 5 combo. So I feel like there's a little bit of discrepancy between this SP usage and the SP regen. The SP regen should be a little bit faster, or give us more ways to get SP. Maybe we get it in the future with the new pieces of gear, or maybe a higher level. You unlock like a passive, or maybe unlock a certain piece of gear that comes with a SP regen. I don't know. I'm talking about what I know right now. My gear is not that great. My gear is a yellow gear or whatever, and I think it's like low level. It's not yellow, it just looks yellow. It's a blue gear. I do have access to the purple gear, however it's going to take me a little bit of time before I can craft this component. It's a little weird, but as you can see, they start coming with special bonuses and stuff, so we'll see what happens here in the future. For now, I think that's it for the combat, right? Bugs, I didn't have many bugs. The game almost crashed, but it didn't, like, you know, when it freezes a couple of times, and then, but it didn't crash. And the music sometimes stops playing when I'm playing. Then there is also some mistranslation. For example, the Iwena skill here, it says Thunderlance Interdiction, but then when you check the P1 or the first copy, it's going to say battle skill will win plus 100%. What does that mean, right? And there's a little bit of mistranslation. Now, it's very important to not fuck up the mistranslation when it comes to important stuff like skills, mechanics, name of stats, and how this character works, etc., right? But if you misspell level up and you say level up without the E, it's fine, right? If it happens, it's fine, but they should be very careful on the translation part of important aspects of the game, at least that, the bare minimum. Now, there shouldn't be any mistranslation, but if there's some hiccups here and there, it's fine, I don't mind. So overall, the story, I didn't watch it. I don't want to spoil myself on the closed beta, so I'm gonna if I want to pay attention to the story, I'm gonna do it on release. So I'm not gonna comment on the story. However, the cutscene that I watched, they were really cool, because now we also have a skip button that also gives you a TLDR in important cutscenes. When you skip, it gives you a TLDR, and then you can choose again to complete the skip, and then now it skips. If there is any cutscene though, it's going to show you the cutscene and instead of skipping it, so you're not missing any cutscene at least. You can skip almost everything in the game, every dialogue in the game, almost every dialogue, and if you skip the NPC, it's not even going to give you the TLDR. So overall, I think this is a really good, solid state of the game. If it releases right now, it would be actually decent. But if they do a little bit of changing up stuff here and there, it's going to be has the potential to be a great game, in my opinion. That said, that is it for today's video. I think I said all I wanted to say, and in a very kind of short time. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think and what is your feedback in the comments. Maybe we can get a little bit of other ideas there that I didn't think about. I will make a follow-up video for the end game whenever I reach it. And I will be making other guides, for example, beginner tips and stuff like that. Not a guide, because the game could be changed, but some tips to help you understand what is important to do early on and what is not important to do. Stuff like that, and then like little tricks and tips. So for now, that is it. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.